Welcome back to our video discussion in MAPEH. Today we are going to tackle first about music. Our topic in music is all about understanding notes in the treble and bass clef. We need to identify first the basic symbols that help determine the pitch of each note. So these basic symbols are the staff and the clef signs. So these are the basic symbols in determining pitch of each notes. We are going to discuss first about the staff. It consists of 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces. So first the lines, 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it has 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the staff. Each line and space represents a particular pitch, which moves in sequence in between the line and spaces of the treble clef and bass clef. The next basic symbol is the clef signs. So musical symbols which tell you the location of a particular pitch found in a musical staff. So these are the clefs. So this symbol is called as treble clef, and this one is the bass clef. When we are going to combine all the basic symbols, this will happen. Okay, this is called as the grand staff. Now we're going to identify the pitch of notes in the staff. So you can read notes on the staff using their pitch names or letter names. The use of the letters will help you remember the pitch name of the notes. Like for example, in the line notes in G clef, which is this one. Okay, each line has the different letters. So the first line below is E. The second line is G. The third is B, the fourth is D, and the fifth is F. So it's also called as, for us to remember it easier, so E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, and F for fine. So if we read that, so every good boy does fine. So it is easier for us to remember to read the pitch of each lines. Next, in the spaces, so this will be the letter names. So the first space below is F, then the second space is A, the third space is C, and the fourth space is E. So the mnemonic name is, you can read that as face. And now let's proceed to the line notes in F clef, so or the bass clef. So the first line of the bass clef is G, the second line is B, the third line is D, the fourth line is F, and the fifth line is A in the bass clef. So when we are going to make a word for that, so G for good, B for boy, D for does, F for fine, and A for always. Okay, when we read that, good in each line, so we can read that as good boy does fine always. So for us to remember it easier, so for the spaces in the bass clef or F clef, so this is the letters, or these are the letters. So the first space is A, the second space is C, the third space is E, and the fourth space is G. So when we're going to make a word for that, so A for all, C for cow, E for eat, and G for grass. So when we read that in each space, so the first space, all cow eat grass. So it is easier for us to remember. All cow eat grass. So these are the letter names of the bass clef or F clef. And now let us all summarize all the letter names in the grand staff. So these are the order of the letter names. So let's start first in the bass clef or F clef. So let's start first in the line. So since in the bass clef, so the words are good boy, thus fine, always. So the first line is good, so it is G, the first line. Next, boy, B. Second line, thus. The third line, and the fourth line is fine, F. And the fifth line is always, so A. So this is the order. And the next is, okay, let's proceed to the spaces in the bass clef. So since the words of that are all cow eat grass, so all, the first space is A, all A. Second space is all cow, C, then eat, E, then the fourth space is grass, or the first letter is G. These are the orders. And in between the treble clef and the bass clef, we have the C. That is in between the treble clef and the bass clef. So now let's proceed to the treble clef. So letter names. Okay, let's start first in the lines. So in the treble clef, we have every good boy does fine. So every E, the first line, good, the second line, boy, the third line, the fourth line is thus, D, then the fifth line is fine. So these are the lines of the treble clef. The spaces, okay, face. So the first space is F, F, the second space is A, the third space is C, and the fourth space is E. So these are the letter names of the grand staff, and this is how we are going to identify the pitch of the notes. And now let us go into identify and recognize the highness and lowness of the letter names. So let's have the arrangement in the grand staff. So these are the orders. It is just an alphabetical order from A to G. And in order to recognize the highness and lowness of these letter names, so let's have the keyboard piano. So since treble clef and bass clef, in the middle of them it has C, or the key of C. So the key of C in the piano is this one. So this is the middle part of the keys. So this sounds like this. So this is the middle key, or the key of C. So let's have first the key of G in the bass clef. So this is the key of G in the bass clef. So it is very low. Okay, it is the lowest key in the bass clef, the G, and it increases. Okay, this is the A, then the B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to the middle C. So as what you have observed, that the pitches is going higher from G to C. So the from low notes or low key, it increases to the middle C. So let's have now that treble key. Let's start first in the key of E. So the key of E is this one. So this is the key of E, then it increases. Okay, the next one is F. So this is the F, G, then back to A, B, C, D, E, F. So F is the highest key in that treble clef. So these are the keys of the letter names. And that is all about our topic in music. And now let's proceed to arts. Our topic in arts is all about using line for landscape sketching. So what is line? Line is an extension or a prolongation of a point. It helps creating shapes, forms, textures, and values. So we have here the types of lines. We have first the straight lines and curved lines. So let's talk about first the straight lines. So lines that are not bent. So like for example, the vertical lines, also horizontal lines, and the diagonal lines. So these are the types of straight lines which are not bent. Type of line which is the curved lines. So one of the example here is the concave lines. The next one is convex line, the opposite of concave line. So the next one is the wavy lines and the curly lines. So these are the types of curved lines. These kind of lines can be used in making sketch. So as what you can see, that there are different kinds of shapes applied on a sketch. So you can see there are wavy lines, we have the diagonal lines, horizontal lines, and vertical lines, and we have the curly lines and many more. So we can use these lines to make a beautiful sketch. When we say landscape sketching, it is an artwork that focuses on the natural sceneries such as mountain, valleys, rivers, forests, and gardens, just like this one. Okay, it includes forest, the rivers, the bushes, and any natural sceneries. So this is the landscape sketching. And that is all about our topic in arts. And now, let us proceed to the physical education. Our topic in PE is all about body composition and flexibility. Let's have first the body composition. It is used to describe the percentage of fats, bones, water, and muscle in the human body. A healthy body composition is affected by your genetic structure, food and nutrition, and physical activity. So how you are going to identify your body composition? So you need to identify first the body mass index. So how you are going to get this? The body mass index is equal to, okay, you need to measure first your weight and your height. Okay, body mass index is equals to weight in kilograms divided by height in meter. So the result will be your body mass index. So how you are going to identify if you are healthy or not? So just look in your copy. So in order to identify if you are underweight, normal range, or overweight. So answer that in your copy. And now let's proceed to the flexibility. Okay, it refers to the ability of the muscle or joint to move through its full range of motion. Flexible people can stretch their muscles and joints without discomfort or pain, just like in the picture. Okay, the girl is very flexible. And in your activity sheet, okay, you may answer the flexibility test, which is the sit and reach. And now, let's proceed to health. Our topic in health is all about changes during puberty. When the body starts to develop and you start to look more like an adult than a child, it means that you are going through puberty. It is usually stressful and confusing, but everyone goes through it, usually starting between the ages of 10 to 14, and it lasts until the age of 18. And now let us discuss about the physical changes during puberty. Okay, let's have first the boys, physical changes of the boys. So the first one is oily skin and proneness to acne. The second one is growth of facial hair, just like the mustache and the beard. The next one is voice deepens. And the next one is shoulders become wider. And the last one is body hair grows, just like the hairs in the underarm and in the chest. So these are the physical changes of the boys. And for the girls, okay, the same as the boys. So oily skin and proneness to acne is the first. Second one is the growth of body hair. Next one is breast develop. Okay, their breasts become larger. The next one is hips become wider. And the last one is menstruation begins. So these are the physical changes during puberty of the boys and the girls. And now let's proceed to the social changes during puberty. Okay, during puberty, friendships with other people of the same age starts to happen. The next one is adolescence starts becoming more independent and take more on responsibility. The next one is this time you are becoming more interested in the world. You like to roam around. And the last one is, okay, this time you start learning how to become an adult. So these are the social changes during puberty. And since we're done with the physical and the social changes during puberty, now let's proceed to the mental and emotional changes during puberty. So the first one is, you are more able to understand complex ideas. You can now analyze different situations and decide how to react. And the next is, you might start feeling attracted to other people and become interested in romantic relationships. The third one is, mood swings are common during this time. Okay, you easily get angry and sometimes not. And the next one is, okay, you might feel tempted to try unhealthy or unsafe things, just like smoking, drinking alcohol, and other things, just to fit with your friends. So it is best to explore healthier ways to win acceptance from your peers or your friends. Okay. And that is all for today. You may now start answering your activity sheets. So, thank you for watching and goodbye!